A huge win on the road, for instance, for the Thunder. And that fourth quarter was really the difference.
Yes, you nailed it, and it was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander that was the difference. I think for the final 4.5 minutes, he scored 15 of his 35 points. And this might not be surprising. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won MVP, led the league in scoring, but the context of this game was different because he wasn't able to get any free throws in the first half. He had 0 assists in the first half the whole game, but he was able to make some clutch shots, get some foul shots, had a step-back pull-up jumper, a few threes. He really got into his bag, Jim, and showed why he's one of the most dangerous scorers in the NBA.
And talking about he's the league MVP, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander coming up big once again for Oklahoma City. We all know that. But are you kind of amazed at how he comes through when he has to?
I'm not amazed, Jim, because we've seen him do this time and time again throughout the season. Now, look, there was a step-back jumper here where he showed he probably got away with a push-off there against Andrew Nembhard. But beyond that, he has shown that he's very composed. He's not afraid of the moment. And so when you heard the Thunder talk about his performance last night, they weren't surprised, not just with the production, but just how calm he was during crunch time. He's really made for these kind of pressure-packed situations.
And how about this? A whole lot of people unhappy about this play late in the fourth, calling for a push-off and a travel on SGA.
Yeah, and look, I looked at the replay here. We'll see it again. He did get away with the push-off. You know who else who got away with the push-off? Michael Jordan in the 1998 NBA Finals against the Utah Jazz. And Jazz fans to this day always talk about it. I'm sure Pacers fans will say the same thing. It was a missed call, but in fairness, both to Shai and MJ, they still made the basket. They made clutch plays before that play. I don't think that's what decided the game, but obviously the officials got to do better.
I mean, excuse me, it just makes everybody in the opposition angry. You see the elbow going to and then come out.
And look, I think also Pacer fans were upset that Lou Dort got away with some pushes against Tyrese Haliburton in the first quarter and the fourth quarter during a turnover. So Pacers fans have legitimate reasons to be upset. But there's an old adage that NBA coaches stress to their players, especially in the playoffs, don't allow a game to be in the hands of the officials, meaning there's so many factors that decide a game, so do all the things that are within your control and don't let missed calls affect the outcome. So I presume that's the lesson that Rick Carlisle is telling his players now to move on.
He's telling his players that, but it gets into their heads. And once it gets upstairs, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Now, knowing how the Pacers are, they've been a really resilient team this playoffs. They've come from behind. They have really surprised people with how they got into the finals. I think that they're going to be able to brush things off their shoulder and just lean on their resiliency, lean on the fact that Tyrese Haliburton has really grown as an NBA star. But, Jim, this has been a really competitive playoff series because the Thunder are also good, too. So I think both teams are very well aware they have to be at their best, not just with their star players, but their supporting cast, because there's so many things that define a game. It could come down to a single play here or there.
It could be a long, long game and long series ahead, that's for sure.